Okay, I'm going to hopefully make this a short video. We're just going to kind of talk about the overall reason why we might use this course builder. And then I have another video that'll be probably a little bit longer as I make an actual course builder, and you can kind of follow along with me and make your own while I'm making mine. But I kind of just want to talk about it a little bit and the process behind it before I kind of let you go. So basically, I was looking for ways to explain to teachers when we first adopted Canvas how to go about building an online course. Now you can do it day by day by day, or you can pre-plan and think about it as a whole. And I think that that's more likely to be what we will do as teacher leaders if we're building PD, because we have the content curated. We've maybe given it face-to-face multiple times, but now we want to maybe put it online so that other people can access it. So we have the content ready to go. We know our time limits. We know how long things are going to take. And it's just this matter of kind of transitioning it into an online course. So when we use something like this template, basically the whole process is just to walk you through what kinds of choices you should be making to create this like online workflow for your learners. And then it becomes this kind of live working document for you or for your team. Think a scope and sequence. That's essentially what we're building. And then from there, it should start to make content creation a breeze. You can continue to use this kind of course builder / scope and sequence, or sometimes I find I just start writing it out on a piece of scratch paper, but it looks very much the same, where I'm trying to identify the different choices I'm making within Canvas and the flow from one page to the next, or where it's positioned in the modules or whatever. So I think that this will help you kind of wrap your brain around putting something together in Canvas in terms of a kind of self-paced online course. Okay, so let's take a look at it. This is what it's going to do. So what I did was, as I said, I was kind of researching when we first adopted Canvas, and I found a video. It's pretty long. It's like 45 minutes to an hour or something, from a university professor that was talking about using Canvas for his classrooms and what he does to help curate the stuff for his college students. And so this is very similar to what he did. I just made it into a Google Doc. He had like a PDF. I was like, I don't want to mess with that. And made it a little bit more approachable, I think, for K through 12 teachers. And then I just slightly modified it for us. Instead of, I think the very first column on the left, instead of days or weeks, we're looking at it in terms of minutes, because we're thinking right about our 90-minute early release times, or maybe sometime an hour worth of time after school or something, right? So that first column is slightly different for this purpose. And then the last column is kind of thinking beyond learning targets and thinking about the 5D as well. So just a few tweaks that make it slightly different than what I would maybe give to a regular classroom teacher. At the top of the page, you will see these, they're images, they're drawn images so that you can freely move them around, but they're colored boxes: assignment, video, discussion, quiz, page, file. The whole thought process behind this being color coded is that you can really quickly drag and drop, make a copy. So you're going to copy and paste each of these images into the table down below, so that's really quickly easy for you to identify, okay, I'm doing a ton of pages, I need to pop in a discussion or something. Or maybe I'm doing a ton of discussions and maybe I should just have an assignment or a quick quiz or something. So it's easy for you to really quickly gauge if you're differentiating how you're delivering the content. So look for those patterns. And then because it's a Google Doc, you can hyperlink in links to outside videos, articles you might want to use. You see here in the picture, I have HTML code from a previous course that I made so that I can just copy and paste that into Canvas, and voila, my page is done, which I think I might actually show you in the next video, actually. So this, again, becomes kind of this working document for you that you can go back and forth with. And again, I think it's just ultimately going to help you, because what I found is I'll have this printed out and I'll just start marking off when I finish or complete different items. And then it helps me to visually remember, since I don't build in modules, which I'll probably talk about later, it's easier for me as I drop in my button images for forward and back to identify where I'm at and what the forward and back buttons are supposed to link to. And then I just start writing all over it as well. So as I was creating this course, in fact, this thing that you're looking at right now is for this course, I realized that I had placed the kind of Canvas 101 page much farther down in the course, and I realized it needed to be brought up. I felt like people needed to know some Canvas slogans and terms and stuff before we dove into anything else. So, you know, in the end, mine becomes really written on and scratchy. Okay, moving on. So what is it that you do? How does this actually work for you? So you're going to create your course builder. Hopefully you've already pressed the button in the Canvas course to create your copy. Go ahead and make several copies of it if you feel like this is something that could be helpful for you. And then as you're starting to kind of gather all of your information and fill out the course builder, remember what we talked about in the things to consider video between, you know, assignments and discussions and quizzes, and when you would use one versus the other, when you're trying to build community and you want people to talk and to share versus when you want them to actually just submit something that they've reflected on that you really only want to read or something, right? So you're filling out the course builder. That's step one. Getting all of your information, trying to figure out, do I just need to give them content so it's going to be in a page and not an assignment? You're going to fill all that out. So that's going to take probably the bulk of your time. Once you're done filling that out and kind of curating your resources, then you're going to come back and you're going to fill out a home page, a course overview. So when you create something, especially for week 3, and you say that you want a Canvas course, we're going to give you an already populated Canvas course that has a front page. So you're just going to pop in your course objectives and that sort of thing. And then, so that's your front page. But I additionally create a course overview page that hyperlinks to the different sections within, which you can see in this course as well, right? Hopefully I'm modeling what I'm preaching. So the course overview page will just allow someone to be able to really quickly dive back in. Maybe they start a course and go off and do something else, and they come back and they want to dive back into wherever they left off. The course page or course overview page allows for them to be able to do that really quickly. Then after that, you're going to want to create all of your container or blank pages or blank discussion threads or blank assignments. So you're just kind of naming them. So I just really quickly use the course builder and I'm like, okay, the first thing I need to build is a discussion page. And I quickly make that and title it and I move on. The next thing I need to build is a page. A page for the course overview. So I make that and I move on. I need to build a page for learning about LMSs and our one-to-one initiative here in Beaverton. So I make that page, title it, and move on. So I'm not filling it with the content yet. I'm just making it as like a placeholder. And then after that, I have to decide if I'm going to build within my modules or if I'm going to use just my own forward and back buttons. So if you're building it within modules, you're going to drag and drop all of your different pieces within the module so that it goes in the flow, and it's a sequential flow that you want. If you are not building in modules, then you're going to drop in your, forward and back arrows and link to everything. This is around the same time that I actually will go in and create the course overview and hyperlink to all of my, page holders that I just created. So I kind of will do all of that at one point. Then I will go in and start completing all of the placeholder pages and assignments and discussions. So that's when I start adding in all of my content. So then at that point, once I've added in all of my videos and my links to different articles and my links to different handouts, then at the very, very end, I need to make sure that I add in my exit ticket and PDU page. So I have a whole page in this sequence to teach you how to do all that, but that's something I do kind of at the very end, double check and make sure that my self-enroll code from TeacherSource is added in. And then at the very, very end, I check all of my links to make sure that I'm clicking, it's going where I want it to go, and I don't have any error messages. Sometimes when you're so involved with building one of these courses, it can help to pass the course off to someone else and just have them click through everything and make sure that it's all working. Okay, so that's your 7 steps to kind of starting to build a course. So now it's your turn. I'm going to do another video that walks you through how I build all of the content and my thought process behind it, and then you're going to be turned over to build your own.